Good evening and welcome to the Clear Picture Channel 9 High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight, Channel 9 makes its first visit to Waynedale High School as the Golden Bears take on Smithville in Wayne County Athletic League action. Hi, everyone. I'm John Finn, and joining us here down on the field now is Golden Bear head coach Bill Cedar. And, Coach, it's been a while since we've seen the Golden Bears early in the season in what we thought was a very impressive performance against Triway. What has happened with the Golden Bears since that time? Give us a quick update if you can.
Well, I'll tell you, since the Triway game, we played a very, very good football game. We played a very good football game the following week. Had a couple injuries there against Northwestern. Still played good enough to win. And then we went into the two grinders, and we got Dalton and Rittman, and two very good football teams. We didn't perform maybe like we wanted to. For sure, we didn't play near what we played against West Holmes and Triway. So we're looking real hard to rebound and just have an excellent game tonight.
One of the things we were most impressed with in the Triway game, not only the victory, but the fact that your kids played very, very hard. And I know you as a coach, take great pride in that. Have you felt the team has maintained that intensity throughout?
I think we've had letdowns from time to time. The kids still play very, very aggressively, and that's what we teach, and it's kind of tradition here. But we've been able to give up the big play to their offenses, and whenever you give up that big play, boy, you know, it really hurts you. The last couple of weeks we've given up that one or two big plays that are for scores, and boy, it kind of breaks your back. So we're hoping to eliminate that tonight.
The Wayne County Athletic League is very competitive, especially when it comes to football. Talk a little bit about this rivalry with Smithville. Smithville under 500 this year, but a great program in football. Your thoughts on the importance of this game for the Golden Bears tonight?
There's no doubt this game is major importance for us for the rest of the season. We've told our kids that we've been on the ladder, and we've got to take that next step. In the last 2 weeks, we haven't done that. And Smithville, they are banged up, and everybody knows that. But they're such a good football team and have such great tradition. They're going to come out and they're going to play, and they're going to play very hard. So we've got to put up forth our best effort tonight and to get this ball game.
All right, Coach, you talked about the effort. We'll let you go in just a moment. But as we wrap things up, what are some of the keys from your standpoint as far as what Waynedale needs to do specifically on offense and defense tonight?
I think, number one, we need to come out and play 4 quarters. We played 2 great quarters last week. We came out in the third quarter, and we had a little bit of a lack. So we've got to put together 4 good quarters of football, both offensively and defensively. We obviously need to come out and hit and try to set the tempo, and that's what we're going to try to do. All
right, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck in tonight's ball game.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be back with more from Waynedale High School coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
When you want to know what's on your cable system when, then TV Guide's nightly grids are a state-of-the-art start. We put a lot into them, so you get a lot out of them. But if you want a more comprehensive view, just turn the page. Our listings give you plot summaries, cast members, movie ratings, everything you need to preview all those channels and choices. So when you want to know when and where to find the good things on your cable system, let TV Guide paint you a picture. Order TV Guide now at an exclusive cable discount.
Tired of automobile salesmen that are here today, but gone tomorrow?
Hello? Hello?
Visit the auto dealership that provides a solid sales force. Fritz Horn, Matt Dunn, Mike Dunn, Tom Lyons, Gene Motorelli, Fred Irwin. These and others on the performance team would like to not only service you now, but for many years down the road. Performance, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome back to Waynedale High School, and joining us down on the field right now is the veteran Smithville head coach Keith Schrock. And Coach, we were joking with Don Barnett before we went on the air about the fact that maybe we could use some cue cards, maybe you could use some help putting together a lineup. Certainly it's been a difficult year from an injury standpoint. Give us a quick update on how the Smithies are coming into tonight's ball game.
Well, we got 3 of our starters out for the year. We lost another one last week. I don't know if you know about our tailback and safety, so it's looking younger every week.
It's a young time, no doubt about it, and a team of the future, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago for Smithville. This is an important rivalry, an important game for your program. What are some of the things that impress you about Waynedale and some of the things you have to guard against tonight?
Well, Waynedale, they like to throw the ball. There's no doubt about it. At least on film they do, and they're going to throw it probably 30, 35 times a game, so you got to be concerned about that. And then the last few weeks have been running a little more, so I think you got to watch both.
With your youth on offense, what will you try and establish tonight? Will you go with the running game, try and put the ball up a little bit? What will you try to do here?
Yeah, well, we're trying to do about what we did before. We just trying to execute a little better than we did before, that's all. And trying to get more familiar with our people. This is the third weekend now in a row that we've had sophomore quarterbacks, so let's hope they mature.
All right, Coach, we know the Smithies are competitive regardless of the circumstances. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in tonight's ball game.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. And we'll be back with more from Waynedale High School coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
The NBA is back on TNT. More games, more playoff games, more slam dunks, more pretty faces, more great talent, more magic, more Michael, more of this. Nobody plays the NBA like TNT. Bigger than life.
Credentials. Would you go to a lawyer who got his degree from Harvard or from the ABC School of Law and Carpentry? Credentials. Would you rather have a meal from a gourmet chef or a meal from Cousin Huey's Backyard Barbecue? Credentials. Only the best will do, and for the best automobile service, Performance has it. Their well-trained and experienced technicians can make your vehicle perform the way you want, the way you expect it. Performance, Pontiac, Olds, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
Welcome back to Waynedale High School. John Finn and Don Barnett on what has turned out to be an unseasonably warm and great October evening here, and a good football game. Good matchup, the Golden Bears of Waynedale and the Smithies of Smithville. Two teams sort of in the same boat at this point, but the Smithies really in a much more difficult state with the injuries and so on. What do they have to be thinking coming into a game like this? What can happen next?
Well, hopefully they're guarding against that, because usually what you think about almost greases the skids and brings it to pass. But the Smithville team has absolutely, nobody believes this kind of stuff, I don't either, but the term snake bitten comes to mind. You lose your first team quarterback. You lose a two-way major impact player lineman. Then a week ago, you lose your first team tailback with a broken arm, a compound fracture of his arm. I mean, that's where the whole thing is, you know, I don't want to get too graphic, but I mean, the arm is really broken. Chad Marthy, a young man that we saw break some things, break some plays, and then doggone it, he breaks his arm. We saw him against Norwayne in a very, very tough game that the Smithies barely won 14-13. Smithies have been struggling, and actually Waynedale has been struggling. Both of them want to get back on the win track. Much of each team's demise has been from or through injuries, and Waynedale may be healing a little quicker than Smithies, only because Smithville's injuries are career-ending, or not, I'm sorry, not career, I hope not career, season-ending. These players are out for the year. Holstein, Snyder, and Marthy. Miller was lost for a couple of games, very high-impact games, Rittman and Dalton for the Bears, and they lost both of them.
Well, that certainly makes a difference when you lose players of that caliber. Don, one thing we know about these two teams, when they get together, or regardless of who they play, they'll play tough and they'll play hard for the full 4 quarters. Could it be a situation tonight where the extra effort, the break here and there, could be the difference in the game?
I would say so, yes. This beautiful evening, weather, which has been a part of most of the games we've seen these two teams play over the last probably 4 years, either smog and muck or heavy rain, we don't have that tonight. So a break, a critical break here or there. And if it comes early in the game, the team that's the beneficiary, if it can move in and score, then it'll be interesting to see if the other squad, whichever one it is, can come right back. It's going to be that type of game, I think, that if either team gets up by a couple of scores, it's possible that it could really get out of hand.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll be back with tonight's pregame band show coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Making a vehicle look like new is what the Performance Body Shop is all about. Just like this car. Looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Once Performance takes the car into their body shop, the body shop technicians transforms this car into a nice-looking vehicle, the way it was meant to be. What a difference. Performance Body Shop, from major to even minor auto body repairs. They can give your vehicle the look you want. Performance, Pontiac, Olds, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
If you'd like to relax a little this holiday season, let Home Shopping Club help you unwind. Do your holiday shopping now, and you'll save more than time. Home Shopping Club has thousands of gift ideas, fashion, jewelry, housewares, electronics, something for everyone on your list at prices to make you merry. Home Shopping Club, great bargains guaranteed. Perfect for everyone who needs a little help around the holidays.
Welcome back to Waynedale High School. John Finn and Don Barnett, week number 8 of the high school football season, as the Golden Bears get set to take on the Smithville Smithies. Wayne County Athletic League action on Channel 9. Good to have you along. Two teams going through some restructuring and trying to get a victory, a moral victory here tonight, and build the confidence a little bit. The Golden Bears with a record of 3-4. The Smithies in at 2-5. And as we mentioned earlier, the Smithies beset with injuries throughout the season. Well, taking a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Golden Bears of Waynedale. The tight end will be number 81, Clint Miller, a 6'1", 168-pound senior. The left tackle, number 78, Brad Sloan, a 6'3", 277-pound junior. The left guard, number 66, Brandon Emerson, a 5'10", 168-pound sophomore. And the center, number 51, Jason Oberle, a 5'10", 150-pound junior. The right guard tonight for the Golden Bears, number 63, Rod Brenner, a 5'9", 185-pound senior. And the right tackle, number 76, Adam Omstutz. He is 5'11", 221 pounds, and a sophomore. The split end for the Golden Bears is number 23, Brian Hewitt, 6', 170-pound senior. He is joined by number 24, Brad Hewitt at flanker, a 6'1", 165-pound junior. We'll also see a lot of Bo Mastering out there. Number 12, a 5'9", 137-pound sophomore. The quarterback for the Golden Bears, number 16, Chad Jensen, a 6', 174-pound senior. And the running backs, number 32, Jerry Miller, and he's a good one. If you didn't see him against Triway a couple of weeks ago when Channel 9 was out there, you'll look forward to seeing him here tonight. A hard-running, 6'1", 193-pound junior. And the other back with the Golden Bears, along with Miller, is 6'1", 175-pound sophomore Joe Lemon, wearing number 25. And now taking a look at the Smithy defense that will try to stop Miller, Lemon, Jensen, and company. The defensive end, number 88, Andy Yoho on one side, a 6'2", 200-pound junior. Joined on the other side by number 75, Mike Christ, a 6'2", 185-pound junior. The tackles for the Smithies are Josh Warren and Jody Bear. Warren, a 6'3", 230-pound junior. And, I beg your pardon, a 6'4", 240-pound senior. And Warren, a 6'3", 230-pound junior. The linebackers, number 34, Lou Johns, a 6'2", 210-pound junior. Number 51, Vince Hartzler, a 5'7", 155-pound junior. Number 62, Todd Kennedy, a 5'11", 185-pound junior. And number 25, Shane Morrow, a 5'9", 140-pound sophomore. The cornerback is Ollie Burnett, a 5'9", 160-pound senior, wears number 22. The safety is number 86, Jeff Tucker, 6'2", 160-pound sophomore. And the halfback, number 10, Chris Leach, a 5'9", 148-pound sophomore. That Smithville defense very aggressive, as are the Golden Bears. And now with a look at the Smithy offense and the Golden Bear defense, here's Don Barnett.
Okay, thank you, John, and hello, fans. Welcome to homecoming football from Waynedale. And just to tell you the impact and the like of this game, it's Waynedale hosting arch rival Smithville. And in scouting from the Worcester General basketball team is Danny Wingate. So, hi, Danny. He's right down here on the track in front. So here we go from the left side. The Tight end for the Smithies on offense. Big guy. We enjoyed his pitching efforts for the Smithies earlier in the year. Andy Yoho, 6'2", 200 pounds, a junior. The left tackle is Jody Bear. He's a good one, 6'4", 240 pounds, a senior. Left guard is Todd Kennedy, 5'11", 185 pounds, a junior. He's number 62. Yoho, rather, is 88 and 71 on Bear. Sorry, I left those out. In the middle, the center, number 75, is Mike Christ. Mike, 6'2", 185 pounds, a junior. The right guard for the Smithies on offense is Adam Spencer, 5'7", 180, a senior. Right tackle, number 56, Josh Warren, 6'3", 230, a junior. And the split end is number 34, Lou Johns. He's 6'2", he's 210 pounds, and he is a junior. The quarterback is number 20, Brian Brookover. Although there are two sophomores who could end up spending some time at quarterback tonight. Brian Brookover, who came in when the Smithies were defeating Norwayne, when Nick Holstein went down with what turned out to be a broken leg. Brian Brookover's 5'9", 145, a sophomore. He may share some time tonight with Shane Morrow, 5'9", 140, also a sophomore. The wingback is number 22, Ollie Burnett. He's 5'9", 160, a senior. The fullback, number 23, is Alan Wilson, 6 feet, 185, a sophomore. Chad Marthy will not be the tailback tonight. He is out for the remainder of the year with a broken arm sustained last week. And the tailback this week will be number 39, Chuck Ellis, 6 feet, 160, a junior. And actually, Wilson's moved into the fullback spot, and Ellis has dropped back into the tailback from what I recall, John, that we saw when the Smithies played the Norwayne Bobcats. Now, Waynedale's defense when this Smithy offense is on the field. Left end is Jerry Miller, number 32. It'll be interesting to see how he does tonight. It's only his second game coming back after a severe sprain to his knee. I won't get into weights and so forth. We've already done that. The left tackle on defense, 62, is Jeff McGrainer. The right tackle, number 78, Brad Sloan. Right end is number 33, Jeremy Shaw. The outside linebacker, 25, Joe Lemon. Another standout on this Waynedale team. Inside linebacker, 63, Rod Brenner. Inside linebacker, 61, Jesse Wardell. Outside linebacker, Brandon Emerson. Cornerback, number 24, Brad Hewitt. Cornerback, number 12, Bo Mastrine. And the free safety, number 23, Brian Hewitt. There you have offense and defense, and they're about to kick off, and this should be fun.
Well, Don, they talk about the color and pageantry of high school football, especially this time of year. The colors of the trees changing now, and two very colorful football teams, the Golden Bears with the gold jerseys, the brown numerals, the white trim, the gold helmets, and the brown pants, and the Smithies very striking uniforms with the road white jerseys, the green numerals, and the forest green pants. And we might mention in this era of cost cutting, Waynedale has chosen to wear the same tops both at home and on the road. They've gotten clearance from the Ohio High School Athletic Association to do so, and I think that's rather a good way to try and cut costs here and there. Those jerseys can be expensive, and certainly if you can get around it, that's the way to do it. So hats off to Steve Kaufman and company for looking for ways to do that. And the Golden Bears now looking for their fourth victory of the season. And we are underway. The kick is a short one, taken by Leach at the 24-yard line. Comes out across the 31 out to about the 32. And that is where the Smithies will put it in play. 1st and 10 with that sophomore quarterback. We expect to see Brian Brookover starting the game at quarterback. And as Don said, we may see some of Sean Morrow. And as the Smithies get set to start here, we will see Shane Morrow. So Shane Morrow is the starting quarterback for Smithville tonight. We originally got that report and then heard things might be different. Opening play from scrimmage. Burnett in motion to the left side. And Wilson with the football. Run. Wilson knocked out of bounds on the far side at the 35-yard line. Alan Wilson under the microscope tonight. In for the injured Chad Marthy, and just a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds.
And John, a big change, I'm sure, in the practice this week with Marthy out. You know, you don't have any warning on things like that. Sometimes you can finish a ball game, even do well in a ball game with a substitution for a major injury. But when you have all week to think about it and practice and work together, as the Smithies have, it can go either way. And so far, it looks pretty good.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4. The ball at the Smithville 36-yard line. And they give inside once again. I believe it was Wilson once again for short yardage.
Good defense by Waynedale. Lemon's one of the people getting up. And going to wait for this lineman to turn a little bit because I can't see the numbers on his jersey.
Gain of about 1 on the play brings up 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 38-yard line. I formation for the Smithies. And keeping the ball on the ground.
Maybe first down.
This is Chuck Ellis, and Ellis crossing the 40, getting out to the 44-yard line. More than enough for a first down. So the Smithies remaining rather conservative early on, and as Coach Keith Schrock said, we will do what we have done most of the season, not derivating from the game plan despite the changes in personnel necessitated by the injuries. So the Smithies get the first down of the ball game and keep the drive alive, rolling on at the 44-yard line.
Lemon and Hewitt on the tackle for the Bears.
Burnett in motion once again. Wilson gets the call, and Wilson gets out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. It will be a pickup of 3 and bring up 2nd down and 7.
Brenner, one of the tacklers for the Bears. And I'm not sure whether this is what anybody expected or not. Smithies, though, John, for years have run the ball. They'll run it and run it and run it, and when you force them to throw it, that's when they will. So perhaps that's the continued game plan, even with these younger players in the lineup.
Give sophomore quarterback Shane Morrow a chance to get acclimated.
This way.
And this is Ellis. Good running room.
Nice
Makes
cut.
a good move and is brought down by Lemon, but not before he crosses midfield and gets into Golden Bear territory at the 47-yard line.
Brian Hewitt had a shot at him about 3 yards back. He slowed him up, but that's all he did, and then Lemon came over and finished him off. 3 yards later brings up 3rd and 1, and the Smithies are in Bear territory.
So Ellis comes up just short of first down yardage, and you can bet that the Smithies will keep it on the ground here. 3rd and short. Burnett the wingback. Double setbacks behind Morrow. And this is Wilson with a big hole on the left side. Wilson with a gaping hole gets the first down, and brought down by Mastrine and a couple of other gold jerseys there, but a good move off of left guard that time, and the Smithies get their second first down of this drive.
And off that left guard, Todd Kennedy and Jody Bear, who wound up absolutely flat on the ground, but not until he had knocked his man into the backfield, allowing the gain.
First and 10 at the Waynedale 42-yard line. Ellis in motion now. Wilson gets the call straight up the middle. Good thrust. Again going off of left guard where Todd Kennedy, the 5'11", 185-pound junior, is situated. And good yardage once again on the first down pickup.
Brad Sloan, number 78, right tackle on defense, involved in the stop.
And
penalty.
We've got some illegal procedure as apparently perhaps Wilson got such a good jump because he started maybe a tad early.
Now, some of these guys are quick, John.
Well, that could be. And as you know, they do not identify the guilty party in high school football, and just as well. But regardless, the Smithies moving early, and that will wipe out a nice gain on first down and make it, first and 15. The ball now just into Golden Bear territory at the 48-yard line.
Waynedale fans picking up the defense chant over here.
Tight formation for the Smithies as they've had it all night. Morrow
Not
on the
much
keeper,
room.
and Morrow on his way very close to a first down at the 33-yard line. Shane Morrow with excellent execution there, kept it on his own and gets very close to another first down.
Outstanding ball handling, and it appeared to everybody that Alan Wilson, or most everybody anyway on the defense, that Wilson had it coming up the middle, and as you described, Morrow pulls it back out and takes off around the left side, a little bit reminiscent of last week's Orville quarterback, Slaughter, and the way he waits until the last second to pull the ball out of the running back's tummy and take off and run on his own. It paid off for Orville for a touchdown last week. However, we're going backwards again.
Unfortunately, this one will be wiped out with a holding call, so 2 big gains by the Smithies. And instead of going forward, they find themselves going backward, now back in their own territory at the 46-yard line. So second and long here. as the Smithies look good but make the mistakes and are paying for it right now.
Whoa.
Morrow wants to throw. Now he pulls it back down, and Morrow is collared from behind. A big defensive play that time by number 66 for the Golden Bears, and that is Brandon Emerson, the 5'10", 168-pound sophomore linebacker.
And he goes back to his defensive huddle, just absolutely on fire. I was going to ask you before the play got started, do you think the Smithies have a 22-yard running play in the playbook?
Well, they thought about putting it up that time, sending the wide out to the right side. Andy Yoho, who wore number 88 a couple of weeks ago, back wearing number 31 this week. And Morrow again on the keeper. Morrow finding an open track and getting down to the 45-yard line. And I'm sure that Smithville head coach Keith Schrock has to hold his breath every time his sophomore quarterback carries the football. That's part of the offense, and that's part of the game. But, boy, he can ill afford to lose another one.
Waynedale happy with the stop. Smithy fans might be a little disenchanted on the other side. When Morrow went up in the air, such a dangerous thing to do, almost sacrificing your body or putting yourself in a position to do that. His forward progress, based on my eyes, was about another yard and a half. He didn't get that on the spot, so it's 3rd and about 2, a long 2.
Smithies have to get to the 33-yard line of the Golden Bears. They were there once, but had it wiped out by a penalty. Morrow throws, got a man on the right side, but incomplete. Overthrown the intended receiver over there. Actually 2 receivers in the area. Wilson and Yoho were there. I believe Yoho was the intended receiver. It is incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Let's see what the Smithies decide to do here. They will probably punt and try and pin the Golden Bears back deep.
And I need to correct myself. I was looking at the standard over there saying it was 3rd and a long 2. It was 3rd and a long 2 to the original first down position or spot. A little over 6 minutes remaining until the end of this quarter, and the Smithies will, in fact, punt, John.
Tony Holman punts.
Nice.
And Mastering takes it at his own 10-yard line.
Mastering
coming up the left side, takes a hit, knocked out of bounds as he gets out near the 30 and beyond the 30-yard line. So the Golden Bears with a nice return, courtesy of Bo Mastering, and they will have their first possession starting 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Coach Cedar gives them a pat on the top of that hard hat. And actually, that was helmet to helmet as they went out of bounds, John.
Mastering fighting for those extra yards. And here we go. Golden Bears. Miller gets the call. Wide open hole. And Miller is knifed down on a great defensive play. A great open field tackle by Ollie Burnett.
Ollie Burnett did a lot of that against Norwayne when we had the Smithies on Channel 9 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's 5'9", 160, a junior. So Coach Schrock has to be pleased that he plays that well, and he's coming back next year.
I would imagine that Miller's eyes were as big as apples when he came through that hole. Nobody in the area, and a big pickup.
Miller
Here he comes again. This time nothing doing as he meets the front defensive wall of the Smithies. And at the bottom of that pile, big number 71, Jody Bear, making the stop.
Jody Bear again. He wrapped him up low. And Vince Hartzler, number 51, finished it off high just in case Miller had any visions of stepping out of the tackle.
Mastering splits out wide to the right side. Hewitt to the left. Pro set formation behind the quarterback, Jensen. And the give is to Lemon.
Tailback.
Lemon off the right side. Lemon has a first down.
Cuts
Still
back.
on his feet. Up the right side. And finally knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
A saving tackle by number 86 for the Smithies, Jeff Tucker, from his safety position. But Waynedale, first down, well into Smithy territory, and they're on the roll. And they haven't thrown a pass yet.
23-yard pickup for the sophomore tailback, Joe Lemon. And we saw Joe Lemon turn in a sensational performance against Triway before being knocked out of the ball game. So the Golden Bears answering the Smithy drive here and trying to get some points.
Almost motion in the backfield.
Miller dragged down from behind. Todd Kennedy making the tackle from his linebacker position. Pickup of about 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 8. The ball just inside the 30-yard line.
Jerry Miller, last week, first action for 2 solid weeks after a severe sprain of the knee, and he played part of the game in offense, then went both ways in the second half, and feels comfortable with a heavy brace to come back and battle for the Bears.
And this pass almost intercepted by Morrow. The pass intended for Clinton Miller, and Morrow got over there. It just went through his arms, but a very dangerous pass, almost a turnover, as the Smithies just missed.
It's such a severe angle on that pass into the flat, or the flat area, that it has to be right on the money, and it's going to be caught by one of two people, either your guy or the opposition, and then, of course, in this case, it went incomplete.
Double wideouts to the right side, but the give will go to Miller up the middle. And Miller with great acceleration. And Miller has the first down as he crashes down to the 21-yard line, at least very close to first down yardage. I believe he should have it from our vantage point here.
John, he's a 6'1", 193-pound junior fullback. He runs like he weighs about 225, very powerful, either knocking tacklers off or punishing tacklers. And in turn, when that doesn't work, he just steps out of tackles, which he did twice on that run up the middle.
Great acceleration and a very intense ball player, and that certainly is a successful combination. Here he gets the call again. And
carrying tacklers.
Several tacklers.
Oh, boy.
Number 75 for the Smithies. And that is Mike Christ.
And way down on the bottom, number 86 also for the Smithies. Jerry Miller runs with authority. I think you could say that unequivocally. And it's no wonder, John, that without him in the lineup full, while it's a team game, he is definitely a major cog in the Waynedale Express.
Gain of 6, and now Lemon down inside the 5 and close to the 3-yard line. Joe Lemon and the Golden Bears are absolutely chewing up the Smithies on the ground.
Reminiscent of the Waynedale game that we had here early in the season with Triway. Triway, much like Smithville's Smithies, heavier at a lot of the positions than Waynedale, but that didn't bother the Bears then, or it seems now. They just make their block and crack it off, and here comes the runner.
First and goal from the 3. You think they'll pass? I doubt it.
I don't think so, not at this point.
The way they've been running the football, and here comes Miller. Miller down near the goal line. Great defensive play.
Very great charge.
Todd Kennedy making the stop, pulling Miller back and keeping him out of the end zone. But the Golden Bears get closer. Second and goal from the 1.
Mercy. Into the ball game. See if I can pick the number up. Number 45 for Waynedale. And I'm not getting it. Oh, there it is. Jamie Walters.
Second and goal from the 1. Jensen, the quarterback, overlooking the Smithville defense. And here comes Lemon into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Golden Bears draw first blood, taking a 6-0 lead over the Smithies.
And he ran right over the block of Brandon Emerson, number 66, who just drove his opponent into the end zone, and touchdown. And the cheerleaders are throwing the plastic footballs, and the people that are quick are catching them, and those that aren't are wishing they were.
Lingenfelder will attempt the point after. And we've got a timeout on the field. The Golden Bears not quite set for the extra point try, so we will have a break in the action. That run by Lemon of 1 yard came at the 2:25 mark of the first quarter and puts the Golden Bears on the board first.
The Smithies off to the far side of the field, and Coach Cedar takes advantage to come out. We kidded with Coach Schrock last year when he would call his team to the side of the field on timeouts, and Coach Cedar would run out to his team, and we wondered if it was because he was the dean of Wayne County League football coaches that he could do that.
I think he has enough seniority to have a policy like that. Don, it's interesting. The first drive tonight, the Smithies looked pretty good, but they finally stalled at about the 40-yard line, 35-yard line of the Smithies, and had to punt it away. And now the Golden Bears answer with an impressive drive, but they are able to put some points on the board.
Well, the big thing was, as far as contributing, the Smithies shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Young teams will do that. We've seen that with some of the other squads that we cover here on Channel 9. But I think one of the most important things was the fact that Bo Mastrine, when he received that punt at about his 10-yard line, he just roared upfield for about 20, 21 yards, giving his team excellent position to start that drive.
Lingenfelder's kick is up, and it is good.
Just inside the left upright for point number 7.
And with 2:25 remaining here in the first quarter, the Golden Bears go up 7-0. And the Smithies now will try to answer as they will get the ball back. And the band plays. The crowd in a very festive mood tonight. And Don, as we mentioned earlier, a very, very nice night. Very comfortable evening
very much.
For high school football this time of year. It got very cold in early October. We didn't think we would see another night like this fall, but very fortunate to have it, and there may not be many more left. 2 more weeks of high school football on Channel 9. Next week, we return to Maurer Field as the Generals host Alliance. And then, of course, the season-ending finale as the Generals take on the Red Riders of Orville. We saw that Red Rider team really come of age last week with an impressive victory over Triway.
Outstanding victory, and they're playing tonight at West Holmes. And the Riders are pointing toward a no-loss finish. 4 wins and out for the remainder of this season to set the tone for next year. So the Generals are going to have their hands full, as will anybody playing Orville right now. They haven't peaked, but they're coming.
Leach and Morrow deep to receive. It'll be Morrow from his own 15-yard line. Cuts to the left side, now brings it up the middle. And Morrow crosses the 30-yard line out to the 35. So the Smithies get pretty good field position to start their second drive of the night.
Good job by Waynedale's Jeremy Shaw to come down and sacrifice himself to break the wedge of blocking that Smithville had set up, allowing his teammates to get through for that tackle. John, it'll be important to see how well Smithville can react and respond and sustain a drive. They need to go right down and score. Not quickly, but go right down.
Well, not much doing that time. Ellis comes up the middle for a gain of a yard, and not much more. Golden Bears making the stop there. Number 78, Brad Sloan, the 6'3", 277-pound junior.
John, we have a first quarter score in the Norwayne-Rittman game. There is no score, and Metzger is playing this week, playing with a hip pointer. What a courageous job by that fine young man.
And a very unsettling sight on the field right now. Adam Spencer down on one knee. Another senior offensive lineman, 5'7", 180 pounds, and the Smithies have had more than their fair share of injuries this year. Spencer does not appear to be seriously injured. He will walk off under his own power, limping on that right leg, but let's hope we see more of number 52 before tonight is over.
Well, he's trying to tough it up and jog off. Let's see what he does when he gets to the other side. He's going to walk around and try and walk it through. Many times in those pileups and the like, people just roll up on the back of someone's leg, and hopefully it's no more serious than that. Oh, ball is loose,
second back through. They're fighting for it underneath. And difficult to say at this point who might have
called.
There's a Golden Bear and a Smithy at the bottom, both grabbing for it. And
now the official has it.
No surprise that at the bottom of the pile, Jerry Miller, but Miller unable to steal it away, so it will be Smithville football. 3rd down and 9 from the 36-yard line.
Chuck Ellis into the ball game.
So a passing situation for Smithville. Ollie Burnett splits out to the right side.
They've been unsuccessful on their only pass attempt so far.
Morrow looks to Burnett, and he is going to be sacked. Jerry Miller with a big sack. Miller got in his face and then made the tackle, and the Smithies will have to punt it away.
He wanted to throw to Lou Johns, number 34, the split end, but as you described it, John, Jerry Miller got right in his face, and Miller is probably 3 or 4 inches taller, and there was just no place safely to go, so Morrow had to take the sack rather than risk the interception.
Bo Mastering stands at his own 35-yard line. Holman will kick, and the Golden Bears should get pretty good field position here. They're coming after it. Holman gets it away, It will bounce at the 40, taken by Mastering on the run. He should get some good yardage here, but a great defensive play by Leach at the 42-yard line. Chris Leach with a great open field tackle, or Mastering would have had a good 10 or 15 more yards.
And courageous and perhaps a little bit on the freelance and, well, just a little bit cavalier, catching that bouncing ball on one hop with opponents right in your face, but Mastering gives his team again a little better field position by the courageous act.
The Hewitts split out wide right and left, and a fumble. Jensen goes after it. I think the Smithies may have it.
They say they do, and the official says yes. The referee says Smithville ball. What a turnaround at about the 40-yard line of Waynedale. 2 seconds left in the quarter, John.
Jensen did not come out with it quickly, and Todd Kennedy fell on the loose football. Smithville gets the football deep, well, not deep, but in good field position at the Waynedale 42-yard line, and they will start there as second quarter action begins. We'll take a break from Waynedale High School to score. Golden Bears 7 and Smithies nothing. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Gonna take the whole wide world and bring it home to you.
The world was different when I was little. Then you were lucky to have 3 channels.
Really lucky now, Grandma.
Yes, just look at all these channels.
You can have it all with cable.
How do you ever choose?
With Mom and Dad's education. But with you, it's the movies.
That bring the world home.
Out of all the channels on television, only Showtime has the movies Mermaids, Misery, Arachnophobia. None of the others will have them for over a year. The fact is, Showtime shows over 70 different commercial-free movies every month. Plus comedy, original films, championship boxing. Showtime, we entertain you like no one can.
More cheerleaders than have ever been gathered in one spot here at Waynedale High School.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Mark said it may be some sort of alumni night, and it looks as though they've got a lot of young ones out there, too. Cheerleaders of the future. As we start second quarter action, the Smithies will have it 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Golden Bears.
You better be careful. You just called some of those cheerleaders old.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Okay, well, they know where. No, I guess they don't know where to reach, man. I guess that's good. Here comes Ellis. And Ellis picks his way down to the 40-yard line, ran laterally to the left, and only picked up about a yard on the play. And it will be 2nd down and 9 from the 40. The original spot, I guess, was actually the 41. So 2nd down and 9 from the Waynedale 40-yard line. Just underway, second quarter, Waynedale leading Smithville by a score of 7-0.
Waynedale doing on that particular play what we saw them do so well consistently against Triway and others, and that's flow to the ball. Just helmet, 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 helmet from the Golden Bears on that ball.
Classic tight formation for the Smithies, but we've got a flag as Burnett goes in motion to the right side. That may have taken a little too long to develop, as Don said.
It's either that or somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
Or someone moved. Maybe
Burnett's or all of the above.
Motion.
Well, illegal procedure. You're in the neutral zone. You move, or you take too long to snap the ball. See, if you'd have snapped it earlier, they mightn't have seen it.
That's right.
I mean, you know, think about it. Yeah, thank you. Mark is really appreciating our precision, incisive commentary.
Yes, absolutely. 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 14 from the 45-yard line of Waynedale. Golden Bears lead 7-0. Here's Morrow giving to Wilson. And Wilson,
crunch.
Good yardage down the right side, dragged down from behind. And Jeremy Shaw making the tackle for the Golden Bears. A pickup, about 7 on the play. It'll make it 3rd down and 7. Ball just inside the 45. Beg your pardon, the 40 at the 39-yard line. Again, difficult to pick up the yard markers across the way here, so we hope you'll bear with us as we try to get the spots here.
8 yards on that carry. Good downfield blocking made it work.
Morrow
Not this time.
giving to Ellis, and Ellis is tripped up in his own backfield. It'll be a loss of about 2 on the play and bring up 4th down. And I wonder, Donna, I thought for a moment maybe the Smithies would try something on 4th down, but they are sending in the punting unit. So the Golden Bears will get it, but probably pretty deep in their own territory.
Well, now Waynedale is dropping 1 safety, 1 single receiver, or a single receiver. That's Bo Mastering. As a punter, after you've seen him do what he's done so far, I would expect that a coach would have the punter kick it away from him. Let's see what happens.
Well, he will want to go for the corner anyway here, and he does so on the right side, or tries to, but Mastering will take it on a hop.
He'll grab it anyway.
Does a nice job, not much of a return, but does a nice job preventing the ball from going any deeper, and the Golden Bears will have it 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Shane Morrow on the tackle. Shane is the quarterback, and he's 5'9", 140, and he came up quickly and put the wraps on Mr. Mastering.
Morrow, just a sophomore, has been very active tonight, obviously on offense and on defense as well, and he is going to be a good one in the years to come.
Spreading it out.
The give goes to Miller. Miller picks his way up the middle, gets across the 20, and out to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 4. And Don, the Golden Bears continuing to win the battle in the trenches.
Yes, they are dominating the line of scrimmage on offense. They are about to dominate it. They at least have done well enough on defense to force 2 or 3 punts. The key here is Smithies are going to have to stop that Waynedale run to force Waynedale to pass, and they do that well.
Lemon on the counter, and Lemon, one of the few times tonight we have seen him knocked down in his own backfield, really never had a chance, loses 1 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 20-yard line.
And one of the Bears in a tussle with a Smithy for the football, but the play had been whistled dead.
Well, Don, the Golden Bears in no hurry to put the ball up either. And, of course, they've had good success on the ground, so both teams very conservative here in the first half. Waynedale leading 7-0 with the football, 3rd down and 5.
They may do it here.
Jensen, back to pass, quick hitter, and a great catch.
Great catch. Great
Joe
tackle.
Lemon made the catch, and Ollie Burnett had him wrapped up before the play, but Lemon makes the big reception, and Waynedale gets the 1st down.
Lemon went up, caught the ball, came down into Burnett's arms. Burnett indicates disdain, and you can't cover much better than that. But that's a pass that, if caught, that's your best defense, is tackle him after he catches it, because you really can't defend it. If you reach around, you're interfering.
Here's Lemon again. Lemon crashes up to the 40-yard line. Beg your pardon, the 35-yard line.
Both squads, especially right now Waynedale, but when Smithville's out there too, I'm impressed with the versatility of their running backs. So often teams into college and then on into the pros, a running back's a running back, and the ones that are really great are the ones that can catch and run, but they're few and far between, and we're seeing some pretty good catching and running here tonight.
And we'll pick up on the 2 talented sophomores in just a moment. Jensen looking to throw, had a man in his face.
Yes.
And he's got a man, Hewitt, just overthrown. Chad Jensen did very well to get that pass off at all. The pass was intended for Brad Hewitt, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Mike Christ was wrapped around him. We don't have it in the grasp rule, or the Cinderella dress rule, as some of the defensive linemen called it last year in the professional ranks. But because of that impending sack, Jensen was forced to throw it early, and that's what prevented an outstanding completion and possibly a touchdown, because the receiver was wide open.
The Hewitts splitting out again, right and left. And Jensen wants to throw. Jensen has time. Throws over the middle, and this one will be incomplete. The closest player in the area, Smithville's Ollie Burnett, and that will bring up 4th down. And Don, picking up on the sophomores, we talked about Shane Morrow. If you like high school football, you want to remember that name for the next couple of years, and certainly if you're a Waynedale fan, Joe Lemon is one to watch. He is getting it done this year as a sophomore, and one can only wonder what he can do in the next couple of years.
Well, that's true, and there are others out there that we'll see through the course of the night. There's a guy that does a pretty good job for Dalton, this quarterback, that we watched a few years ago as a freshman, Jason Miller. And one of the reasons that that Dalton has one loss for the overall season and undefeated and favored to win the county title is because of Mr. Miller at the helm.
The Golden Bears were guilty of holding, but the Smithies obviously will decline, hoping to get the ball back, and the Golden Bears will punt for the first time tonight. Chris Leach is back deep to take this punt.
Nearly blocked.
Joe Lemon, the punter, is knocked down. No flag. Fumble by Leach, and the Golden Bears have it.
Oh, my.
Leach fumbles the football, and Waynedale gets it back at the Smithville 40-yard line.
What a crusher. I don't know whether the moisture in the air tonight is making the ball a little bit slippery, or, you know, players diving, falling in the grass and so on. The jersey portion of the uniform a little slick, but that ball just zipped in, and, you know, like it was Teflon, and zipped right back out. And bingo, the Bears are on offense again at Smithville's 40.
Second turnover of the night, first by the Smithies. This is Miller.
Still going.
And Miller takes about 4 or 5 white jerseys to knock him down. Picks up about 7 on the play, and it will bring up 2nd and 3, and a chance now, Don, perhaps, for the Golden Bears to gamble just a bit.
Right. I was curious that previous series that led to the punt and the fumble, the fact that they went away from their ground game totally and just threw. But Coach Cedar knows a lot more about coaching than I do, so we'll just describe it. But it was curious.
And Lemon
not this time.
Hits a real brick wall as he crosses the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard on the play. And that will bring up 3rd down and 3.
The Bears haven't done much on that counter play tonight. They keep showing it. One, it keeps the defense honest, and should the Smithies line up a little incorrectly, that thing will break for 15 or 20 yards.
Miller, left side.
Like
He'll
that.
have the first down, or I thought he would have the first down, but he's knocked down. Nice defensive play by Lou Johns, and as it turns out, he is going to be about a yard shy of the first down. So decision time for head coach Bill Cedar here. 4th and 1. The ball at the 31-yard line of Smithville.
Well, there's your decision. Bo Mastering comes in with a play.
Well, the Golden Bears are likely to give it to Miller once again here and try and grind out that long yard. And instead it's Lemon following the block of Miller. Lemon gets the first down, but barely. His knee apparently went down right at the 30-yard line. So it will be very close to first down yardage, but he may have it. He does by the nose of the football.
Referee indicates first down. The sticks move. Bears lead 7-0. We have a little over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. And, John, if Waynedale puts in a second set of unanswered points, it could be a long night for the Smithies if they don't respond positively.
Well, the Smithies are not one to quit.
No.
We saw them battle Norwayne a couple of weeks ago, losing their starting quarterback late in the ball game, but hanging on for the victory.
Both bands positioning themselves for the halftime show.
Jensen makes a nice move. He's got a man. The pass is complete.
Touchdown.
And a great catch down near the goal line. The reception made by Hewitt. Brad Hewitt making the reception and trying to pick up the spot. It looks about like the 1 or 2 yard line.
And that looks like the pylon that Eric Metcalf's fumble knocked down in the game in Washington last week.
So first down and goal.
Wow.
The ball at the 1 yard line of Smithville. Nice pass by Jensen. Good job to avoid the pressure. And Hewitt made the reception in traffic. Here comes Miller, and that will be a Waynedale touchdown.
Smithies in the middle tried to stop him. Mike Christ, however, a young man named Jerry Miller, who is under 200 pounds, runs like he's about 20 more, puts it in the end zone for his Waynedale teammates. And on homecoming Friday night, the Bears lead 13-0 with a point after attempt by Lingenfelter coming up.
The holder is Jensen. The snap is high. The kick is up, and no question about that one. Lingenfelder puts it through, and the Golden Bears, courtesy of 2 short yardage runs, take a 14-0 lead. We will take a break. 4:28 remaining in the first half. Waynedale 14, Smithville nothing. We'll be back with more coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Hello, Goldie.
They're looking at you, kid.
We'll give you the moon and the stars.
Beware of HBO's all-new episodes of Tales from the Crypt. You won't believe your eyes. You may lose your grip. Or get a little jumpy. That's how it goes with our terrific tales of murder, madness, and mayhem. And that's just the fun part. Tune in and you just might be another satisfied customer. Tales from the Crypt. It's only on HBO.
Credentials. Only the best will do. And for the best automobile service, Performance has it. Their well-trained and experienced technicians can make your vehicle perform the way you want it, the way you expect it. Performance Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
Well, the Smithville fumble leads to a Waynedale touchdown. A squib
Offside.
kick up front and a battle for the football. I don't think it went the required yardage, or yes, it did. It did cross midfield, but the Smithies come up with it, and it looks as though Wilson may have made the recovery there. So
what a job by the Smithies.
And I'm not sure if that was by design or not. I'm not sure that it's not your average onside kick or little squib kick. It just went straight ahead and bounced off one of the Smithies, but Smithville able to recover, so they catch a break there, getting good field position, 1st and 10 at their own 47.
Just over 4 minutes remain until the half, and we have a 14-0 game. Waynedale on top.
High formation, it's Ellis, but Ellis finds the going rather rough off the right side as the stop is made over there by number 61, Jesse Wardell, the 5'10", 200-pound senior linebacker.
Well, and other reasons would be Jeff McGrainer, the left tackle, number 62, and the left end, Jerry Miller on that side. And he knows how to do it.
He sure does. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. A ball at the 48-yard line of the Smithies. Smithville would like to punch one in here. They trail by 14.
There's time. They can go downfield in 3.5 minutes.
And this is Wilson coming straight up the middle, and nobody fooled on that one as Wilson gets about a yard, getting close to the midfield stripe, but not much more, and getting up from the bottom of the pile for the Golden Bears, number 63, Rod Brenner.
John, we have a 14-0 score here coming up on halftime, 3 minutes away. A couple of other second quarter scores. Orville is leading West Holmes 7-0. And also a second quarter score. It is still scoreless. Norwayne Rittman 0-0.
Well, do the Bobcats have a miracle in them tonight? We'll wait and see. Indians awfully tough, though. Broken play. Morrow comes up the middle, and Morrow is well short of first down yardage. It looks as though Shane Morrow wanted to throw quickly. Nobody open. Brought it back down and picked up about 5 yards on the play, but the Smithies will be short by about 3 yards of the first down, so Holman is in to punt it away.
And he's punting to the very dangerous, very unpredictable Bo Mastrine, who can take it all the way with any type of break on the punt.
Mastrine standing at his own 15-yard line. The Golden Bears setting up the return this time. Mastrine takes it at his own 21-yard line. Mastrine coming up the middle. We've got
Flag.
a clip, and Mastrine will go all the way and will
it's
come
coming back.
And I'll tell you what, I saw the play, and it should never have been called. It should never have been
right?
called because it was a slight push in the back, And it was
incidental.
It was very incidental. I understand the idea of trying to protect the players, but it was not a clip.
Correction on a score. I started to say correction, and I think the bottom of our television flew outside. John broke the TV. John broke the TV. Second quarter score, about 5 minutes away from the half. It's Richmond 14, Norway nothing. So, well, it was fun while it lasted, Bobcats, but it's never over till it's over.
Well, Don, we have been admonished by our producer-director, Mark Lasko, not to...
Have we?
Well, not for this. I mean, this is something totally different.
Yeah, you're going to pay for that.
Monitor here, but not to be too critical of the officials, but I really felt that that was not a clip. And if you have a chance to see it at home tonight, I mean, there was a very, very slight contact. Certainly no danger to the defensive player, but regardless, it will be wiped out, and the Golden Bears will start deep in their own territory. The ball spotted just outside of their own 10-yard line.
Well, John, this play happens about 9 out of 10 times in the pros, so I think most of the audience is used to it, but a little surprised in high school. But it is 1st and 10. It's not 1st and 35.
Golden Bears certainly will want to be conservative here, not wanting to give the Smithies an easy score. Here comes Miller, and a gaping hole off of right tackle and right guard. Rod Brenner and Adam Onstutz really doing a nice job clearing out the way. Miller picks up 9, takes the heat off the offense a little bit. 2nd down and 1.
And an offensive line coach loves to see what just happened, no matter what team, what side. His offensive linemen were burying the defensive forces of the other team, actually running them backwards on their heels.
Here comes Lemon, and Lemon
Not this
will
time,
be brought down for a loss. 3 Smithies there to greet him. At the bottom of the pile, Jody Bear, a couple of others finishing him off. A loss of about 2 on the play will bring up 3rd down and 3.
Vince Hartzler and others along with Jody Bear. And Jody gives you everything. All 4 quarters, good size, 240 pounds. And he comes to play every week for Coach Keith Schrock and the Smithville Smithies.
53 seconds remaining in the first half. Golden Bears, 3rd down. And keep it on the ground. No surprise, Miller is wrestled down as he gets close to the 1st down.
Very close.
And maybe close enough to measure. No indication yet as the clock is now stopped at 41 seconds. And let's see what they say. They may have to bring the chains across.
Interesting question posed to me by Mark Glasgow, written note. Is the little bit of movement by the Waynedale quarterback just prior to the snap illegal? Well, quarterbacks get called for it sometimes. Quarterbacks don't get called for it sometime. It'll be interesting to see if it gets called through the course of the evening, what the reaction of both teams will be. Obviously, Smithville has trained itself to simply go on the movement of the ball. They're not going on that slight forward movement. Flag.
Flag down. Hewitt is there. And
Nearly.
Hewitt almost made the reception after Tucker had done a nice job breaking it up. But the ball remained in the air, and Brad Hewitt, who set up the 2nd Golden Bear touchdown, almost made the reception, but I believe we have a hold, a block below the waist.
Oh, dear.
On the Golden Bears. So Golden Bears, if there's a negative tonight for them here in the first half, it's the penalties.
Yeah. And I'm sure Coach Cedar and staff will be talking about that specifically at the half. Captain Jerry Miller coming out to ask what it was that occurred. And an official is charged with telling you what happened and by whom and so on, so that you can do something about it. But that illegal block below the waist, we've seen it on an offensive basis tonight. We've seen it on an offensive basis other nights. We saw it unusually called on a defensive basis here, maybe it was last week. So they've certainly worked that one over, that particular penalty.
Well, it won't matter much at this point. Just 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Golden Bears obviously want to hang on to the football. Don, were you surprised they went up for it that time?
Yes, I was. And let's get this in quickly. Norwayne has answered Rittman's 14 points with 7 of their own as the first half is ending over there.
Smithies trying to force a turnover here and get a quick score if they can. And here comes Miller. Miller off the right side.
What a run.
Miller is tripped up by Leach.
Waynedale may call timeout and try to throw one. 5, 4. It's going to end on that play.
That is the end of the first half, and our score, Waynedale 14, Smithville nothing. We'll be back with tonight's halftime show coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Tired of automobile salesmen that are here today, but gone tomorrow?
Hello? Hello?
Visit the auto dealership that provides a solid sales force. Fritz Horn, Matt Dunn, Mike Dunn, Tom Lyons, Gene Monterelli, Fred Irwin. These and others on the performance team would like to not only service you now, but for many years down the road. Performance, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
They are like the pimps. We're the hookers. They want a piece of the action.
Do you think George Bush deserves that kind of credit?
Moral outrage is one thing. Good business is another.
Who has the upper hand now?
Do you see any legitimacy to the comparisons with Vietnam?
What's inconsistent?
We don't even want to touch that topic.
They don't want their fingerprints on this at all.
Even more good news.
CNBC Talk Weekend. All talk.
You didn't see this thing coming.
Smart talk.
present the Kingsman hit, Louie Louie. We feature a hit by the biggest band to come out of that era, the Beatles. With the talents of featured twirler, Chrissy Coon, we close our performance with I Saw Him Standing There. The Waynedale parents are selling Christmas tickets to tonight's game.
Credentials. Would you go to a lawyer who got his degree from Harvard or from the ABC School of Law and Carpentry? Credentials. Would you rather have a meal from a gourmet chef or a meal from Cousin Huey's Backyard Barbecue? Credentials. Only the best will do, and for the best automobile service, Performance has it. Their well-trained and experienced technicians can make your vehicle perform the way you want, the way you expect it. Performance, Pontiac, Olds, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
Welcome back to Waynedale High School. John Finn and Don Barnett. And Don, the Golden Bears in the first half, controlling the line of scrimmage, both on offense and defense, getting 2 short yardage touchdowns, one by Joe Lemon, the other by Jerry Miller. And we are at the half, getting ready for second half action. Waynedale on top 14-0, and Smithville really needs to do a little bit better job up front, but in their defense, they've had the injuries up front,
right,
and they had another injury tonight, and it has been a difficult go here the last few weeks.
1991 has been probably a season that Coach Schrock and his staff are going to want to just put to bed here in a couple of weeks and start preparing for next year. Credit to the Smithies. They come to play all the time, but they have been hit with a rash of things: broken legs, broken arms, ruptured Achilles tendon. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it'd be just like an alligator came out and came up behind you and took a bite out of the back of your foot. It just takes all of the controlling ligaments and turns them into mush. And I don't know what else you can do with a football team when all of a sudden you were playing with just a few seniors, primarily sophomores, juniors, and all of a sudden you've got 3 or 4 more sophomores in there. I will say this: next year and the year after, look out. The Smithies are going to be all over everybody, but they will not quit. We know that, and they're going to give Waynedale all they can handle. I don't know what we're going to see in the next few minutes, but if Waynedale goes down and punches one in to make it a 3-score touchdown score on the board, it may be insurmountable. I hope that's not the case for either team. We want to see an exciting game. They always give us one, and we'll be ready for kickoff in just a moment.
Jody Bear will kick it off for the Smithies. Joe Lemon back deep to receive, standing at his own 10-yard line. This kick will go off to the right side, and it will be taken by Brandon Emerson. Emerson running up the left side.
Big run.
And kind of unusual to have a linebacker back there receiving kickoffs, but Brandon, a good running back as well, although he does not play that position any longer, and brings it up for a nice gain and puts the Golden Bears in business, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Nice return. Good kick by Bear, high and deep, and Emerson ran away from all the coverage.
Brad Hewitt splits out wide to the right side. His catch set up the second Golden Bear touchdown. And here comes Miller with a gaping hole off the right side. Powers ahead for the first down as he crosses midfield again. The Golden Bears running over right guard Rod Brenner and right tackle Adam Amstutz. And they have really made a living on that side tonight, Don. Jerry Miller has to feel good about what those two guys are doing out front.
Well, he does, and I'm sure they appreciate him, because you and I see the movement that Miller makes to set up some of those downfield blocks that those gentlemen and others are making, and that's quite a start on the first down in the second half.
Double wideouts to the left side, but Miller gets the call. Miller gets down to about the 46-yard line, but this one may come back. Don, as we said late in the first half, if there is one negative for the Golden Bears so far, it is the penalties, and there is another one, a hold.
Ooh.
And that will set the Golden Bears back into their own territory.
The official coming to the sideline to inform the coach of the culprit, if you will, or the young man who did foul. And you and I don't get to know that, and that's just as well at this level. College players can't handle it either. They don't do it there. But no, we don't need to know who it was. Coaches want to know, though, so that they can work with that young man and do their best to see that it doesn't happen again, because here on the move, the Bears doing really very similar to what Smithville did on their first drive of the first half, John, and that's shoot themselves in the foot and almost at the same spot on the field.
15-yard penalty brings up first down and 25 to go at the 26-yard line of the Golden Bears, and Jensen wants to throw. Heavy rush, gets it away. Miller with a great catch, and Miller with the first down.
Oh, my goodness. Call a doctor, as they say.
That was a great catch by Jerry Miller, but perhaps an even better throw by Chad Jensen. who had 3 Smithies in his face, including Mike Christ, who's been there all night. And Chris did everything he could to distract Jensen and get a hand on the football, but Jensen got it away, and right away the Golden Bears get the first down.
They are exciting to watch, and when you have a passing game like Waynedale, you're never out of anything. If there's anything negative on the Smithville ledger right now due to the injury to Nick Holstein, they don't quite have that threat on their offense as far as the pass. Now we have a whistle.
Well, Don, as you pointed out earlier, if the Golden Bears are able to convert here, the Smithies will have a hard time catching up, and they will have to go to the air.
They will, yes. They'll be forced out of their game plan.
Quick hitter on the right side.
Mastering, that could be a fumble.
It, and very wisely covers up. I think it was an incomplete pass, but Mastering making a heady play there and diving on the football just in case, but they will rule it, or will they rule it an incomplete pass? Let's see. The ball rolls forward. And let's see where they spot it. They spot it back at the line of scrimmage, so an incomplete pass, and that will bring up 2nd and 10 from there.
But when in doubt, you better pounce on that thing, because the other guys will.
Oh, a good play by Mastering. He didn't know exactly where he was. He thought he was a little ahead of the quarterback, Jensen, but not quite sure. He covered up. Brings up 2nd and 10 as Hewitt comes out wide to the right side. Lemon is the wing back, and the single setback is Miller. Jensen wants to throw. Heavy rush once again. Gets it away. This pass is knocked away.
Almost pulled down.
Nice defensive play by Ollie Burnett. And Ollie Burnett has done a nice job in the defensive backfield tonight for the Smithies.
You're absolutely right. When the coaches grade out this ball game, a young man named Ollie Burnett, a 5'9", 160-pound junior, is going to show up very well in the statistics up to this point anyway, and it doesn't matter what happens from here on. He's done well to this point, and he's going to be a real tower of strength in that defensive backfield for the Smithies next year.
3rd and 10, and Jensen on the draw. Lemon is there, and so is Jody Bear, Andy Yoho.
And that's enough.
Yeah, and Josh Warren there as well. So the draw play really didn't work that time, and the Golden Bears, after getting that big pass to Jerry Miller, they stall. 4th down, about 14, make it 13 to go, and the Golden Bears will punt.
Some of that stall comes because of that Smithville defense turning it up a notch, which they needed to do right there.
Leach fumbled last time. Let's see what he does this time. He will let it bounce, and now has to go cover up, and he's got to let it go. He picks it up at the 2-yard line. That ball may have gone into the end zone, but
it was going that way. Unless he touched it. Unless he thought he touched it, would be the only explanation that I would have. He's jogging off a little dejected.
That's the one thing the Smithies didn't need. They are deep in their own territory, trailing by 2 touchdowns. And one of the Smithies down at the 45-yard line.
It's Ollie Burnett. I would react the same way, I hope, for any ball player, but we just finished talking about what a mainstay he has been for the Smithies on defense tonight. And there he lay at the, well, let's see, the sideline markers are obliterated. 45, maybe? Anyway, you've got him on the screen there.
Well, Don, you know,
he
Keith
is getting up.
As he walks along with Burnett, has to be saying to himself, hey, this just isn't fair. We've had more than our share of injuries this year, and you're right, you lose a guy like Burnett who has enjoyed a fine career and a real staple in that defensive backfield. But more importantly, now at the other end of the field, the Smithies in trouble deep in their own territory, and they will have to get something going. They spotted, I believe, at the 5-yard line.
This is a defensive coordinator's delight if your guys can pull it off, bottle them up, and make them punt from their end zone.
Morrow on the give inside.
Some yardage. I don't have any type of an angle to even make a prediction, John.
Well, let's wait and see as they unpile. The ball carrier was Ellis, number 39. He got out across the 5 and out to the 6-yard line. So a pickup of about a 1.5 yards. We'll call it 2nd down, a long 8 from there.
Saw John Shanklin star the previous 3 years at Smithville. He's assisting Coach Schrock on the far side.
Here's the give to Wilson. And not much doing on the right side.
There's a little bit of room now.
Sophomore Alan Wilson.
A little bit of room now to operate. I doubt that Smithville will throw, but at that point of the field, you need something quick counter, something to surprise the defense, because right at this point, Waynedale is so focused with covering the gaps. They're not going to shoot anything. They're not going to gamble. They're just going to cover all the bases.
Chris Leach splits out to the left side. And Morrow gives to Ellis.
Nothing.
And Ellis is corralled at the 5-yard line. May have lost a yard or two on the play. And the Smithies now will have to punt from their own end zone.
John, excitement in the Norwayne-Rittman game. About midway into the third period, and it's 14-14 tie. And last we heard from West Holmes, it was Orville 7, West Holmes nothing. And we appreciate the help in the press box, sharing those scores with us here at Waynedale, and we'll bring them to you so that you're up to date as you watch the replay this Friday night.
Holman will punt from his own end zone. Mastering standing alone at his own, at the Smithville 43-yard line. Should be great field position. Good high kick. Mastering takes it at the 40 and is corralled at the 38-yard line. But great field position for the Golden Bears, who already lead 14-0. And the clock now says 7:43 remaining in the third quarter.
That was Shane Morrow, the quarterback for the Smithies, playing both ways, and he was downfield quickly to cover on the punt. But when you're punting from the mid portion of your own end zone, and it's a heavy night, unless you hit one of those thunder kicks, the other guys start out on your side of the field, and that's what's happening here.
Sophomore sensation Shane Morrow having a big night, but right now his Smithies trailing, and the Golden Bears leading by 14. They've got the football at the 37-yard line. This is Lemon, and Lemon gets a yard or two over right tackle Jody Bear at the bottom of the pile, and he gets some help from number 56, and that is Josh Warren.
Josh Warren, number 56, is a junior. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, and he comes to play.
Still plenty of time left in this one, although the clock beginning to become an ally of the Golden Bears as we approach the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Jensen,
he'll throw.
Rolling to his right, in trouble, and
he had pressure, John, but he put his feet down to set up to throw, and it was like, I don't know about you, but it was like me ice skating. Boom! He was on his bucket.
Mike Christ was in the area, but you're right, Chad Jensen slipping down on his own. That'll bring up third down and about 17, a loss of 7 on the play.
Well, Mr. Jensen,
somebody opened a window here,
can hit for a long ways away, and after John broke our television, he's trying to break our video feed.
Complete sabotage. Third down. Here come the Smithies. They try and set up the screen.
And just won't fit.
And Lemon unable to come up with a great defensive pursuit that time by the Smithies.
And Coach Cedar not happy with the development of the play because somebody just didn't do something that he wanted done. And he's a very mild-mannered interview on Coach's Corner. But he is a football coach, and he knows what he wants, and if he doesn't get it, he comes right out to point it out. But he's talking to a couple people.
No, not happy with Chad Jensen, and I think Jensen did all he could do.
He did.
Oh, this one will go deep into the Golden Bear territory, picked up by Lemon. Lemon will throw, and the pass is in and out of the arms of Tucker of Smithville. So Lemon does a great job to avoid a massive loss. But as it stands, the Smithies catch a break. They will get great field position. But Joe Lemon, just a sophomore, a very heady player, had no chance on the high snap, picked it up, tried to throw the pass, almost intercepted by Tucker, but a lot better than it could have been, and still pretty good field position for the Smithies.
Not bad at all, and uncharacteristic of Waynedale, and I say that because we've had them on Channel 9 earlier this season against Triway. They don't shoot themselves in the foot very often, but they've done it here a couple of times in a row.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Smithies, looking for their first score of the night. Throw in traffic. And the closest player to the ball that time was number 66, Brandon Emerson.
Number 78, Brad Sloan, may have put a hand on that football as it was coming across the line of scrimmage. Yeah, all of a sudden, it looked like a wounded duck. Don't ask me to describe a wounded duck.
We get the picture. 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. Ollie Burnett back in the ball game for the Smithies, so that's good news, and he goes in motion to the left. And that motion may have cost the Smithies 5 yards. This happened last time. We weren't sure if Burnett was the guilty party or not, but he goes in motion, and the moment he did, the procedure call is made, so we're not necessarily pointing the finger at Ollie, but something has gone awry for the Smithies, and that's set.
I'm sure Keith Schrock would like to know what that is, because motion is permitted.
So a 5-yard penalty, 2nd down and 15. The ball now at the 41-yard line of the Golden Bears, and the Smithies need to get busy.
1 week from tonight, join us for the Worcester Alliance Aviator game from Maurer Field at 10:30 here on Channel 9.
Here comes Wilson, and Wilson brought down after a pickup of about 3 yards. Emerson mastering there to help. So, Don, on that first drive of the night, the Smithies making good yardage and getting a good surge, but since that time, they have not been able to do much on the ground and virtually nothing through the air.
Has to be frustrating for them, for their coaches, and I'm not sure what you do other than just keep coming and keep trying and keep punching away and hope that something will work.
Has to be agonizing for Nick Holstein, the quarterback who was injured earlier in the year, to watch this. Ellis rolling on the right side.
Nice
Ellis
cut inside.
And Ellis has got the first down.
Wow.
A determined bit of running by junior Chuck Ellis.
We got
taking
players
matters
down
into his own hands and getting the first down. 2 Smithies are down on the field, and Keith Schrock, he may want to leave this one early.
Oh, yeah, he may want to. I'm not sure what he may want to do.
Halloween
One of them
is about
Burnett.
2 weeks away, but this has been a real nightmare for Coach Keith Schrock and the Smithville Smithies.
Officials motioning to the chain gang to get those chains down. It is a first down.
While we have this timeout on the field as they attend to the injured players, we will take a break as well and bring you up to date as soon as we get back. 5:18 remaining here in the third quarter. Waynedale 14, Smithville nothing. We'll be back with more coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Making a vehicle look like new is what the Performance Body Shop is all about. Just like this car. Looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Once Performance takes the car into their body shop, the body shop technicians transforms this car into a nice-looking vehicle, the way it was meant to be. What a difference. Performance Body Shop, from major to even minor auto body repairs. They can give your vehicle the look you want. Performance, Pontiac, Olds, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
Hi, I'm Scotty Graham of the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Anyone can pretend to be a big man with drugs and alcohol. My job on this team demands a clean mind and a tough body. And I couldn't have either if I used drugs or alcohol. I don't do drugs or alcohol. Neither should you. You could be a game breaker by saying no to drugs. Be a winner in the game of life. If someone offers you drugs or alcohol, just say no.
Chuck Ellis and Ollie Burnett go off under their own power, but not after some delay, both in a great deal of pain, and we have a new quarterback for the Smithies. Number 20, Brian Brookover, into the ball game for the first time tonight. As the Smithies try to get some momentum on offense, this is Wilson, and Wilson barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Morrow is in the game.
Morrow perhaps in that wingback slot, taking over for Burnett. Now Burnett coming back in, Leach going out. So Ollie Burnett, who has been banged up twice tonight, courageously back into the ball game. Chuck Ellis, who was down for some time at the Waynedale 43-yard line after making that big first down run. And he is out of the ball game. We may or may not see him. When he finally did go off, he looked to be pretty good. Brookover rolling to his right, wants to throw, has the time, and the pass
tipped
off the arms or the fingertips of Hewitt. And
excellent pass defense. Ooh, roughing the passer.
Johns and Wilson were the
penalty
intended receivers, but the Smithies we'll get a break here, and it has been a long time coming, and Coach Keith Schrock happy to see this.
Well, at this point, I'm sure he'll take anything that's favorable to his Smithy team. It's been a long night up to this juncture, as you indicate.
Still very much a ball game. The Smithies trailing 14-0, but a quick score here could get them right back into it. We have 4:21 remaining in this third quarter, and this will help out considerably as they move the chains forward, and the Smithies will have the ball inside the Golden Bear 30 at the 29.
Big break. John, I want to remind everybody watching tonight, Friday night the 18th, that tomorrow, the 19th, the Scots host Oberlin. And we'll have the replay here on Channel 9 at 5 in the afternoon. So join us for exciting 1991 Fighting Scott football action.
Wilson, the fullback, and now Brookover the pass, and it is
off the
incomplete.
fingers.
In and out of the arms of Lou Johns, number 34, the intended receiver.
Now, when we saw the Smithies play Norway, there were some excellent passes completed in the middle to their big tight end, Andy Yoho. Now, I don't know whether they're keeping him as a trade secret tonight or things have changed since then, but I would think that a pass across the middle to somebody like Yoho, the way he broke tackles against Norway, could perhaps put the ball in the end zone. Nothing.
Oh, Shane Morrow
Nothing.
bounces off several gold jerseys and then bounces back further into his own backfield. A host of gold jerseys are there to make the stop.
Everybody.
And also getting some help from Jesse Wardell, but
Sloan, the big tackle. John, that's one of those plays that when you see it go on the offensive side, you wonder, did we tell them what we were going to do? Because it was just as though, well, obviously what happened, Waynedale read everything just perfect, and wham, they were there. There was no place to go but down.
Yoho splits out to the left side. Burnett in the slot. And Brookover wants to throw. Got heavy pursuit from the outside.
Pressure, sack.
And he is wrestled down by Miller, getting a little bit of help along the way from Jeremy Shaw.
That was coverage as well as timing sack. Good pursuit by the defense after Brookover, and excellent coverage downfield in the short run, which forced him to look elsewhere and caused the sack.
Well, it's fourth down, Holman in the ball game, but it may be time for a little bit of trickery. The Smithies have to make something happen, perhaps in a slightly unorthodox way. Let's see if they kick it away here.
They're going to do it.
They will. And Mastering is there. He watches it hit at the 12. And now lets it go as it bounces dead at the 6-yard line. So the Smithies try to pin the Golden Bears back. And Don, I think what they have to look for here is a big play by the defense, create a turnover, get a quick score, and get back in the ball game.
Right, a quick score will do that. What Smithville doesn't want to have happen is for Waynedale to march the length of the field whether they score or not. We have just over 2.5 minutes remaining in the third period, so we have about 14 minutes of football here, and the Smithies have to stop the Bears in this series.
Waynedale on top, 14-0. This is Miller, and Miller is wrestled down after a gain of 5 yards. Wilson making the stop, getting some help from number 62, Todd Kennedy.
Kennedy on the bottom, Wilson on the top.
A pickup of 5 on the play. Second down and 5 for the Golden Bears, who have not had much difficulty moving the ball out of their own end. And let's see if they can do it again. The Smithies want to stop the Golden Bears and perhaps create the turnover.
Miller.
Here comes Miller again. He takes a solid hit.
Won't be first down, but he's close.
Hartzler there to make the stop. And the Golden Bears have a 3rd and 2. They need to get to the 16-yard line.
The intensity of the hitting is really perking up. You can see Smithies and the Bears really beginning to lay helmets and shoulder pads on one another as we approach the end of the third period.
Mastering splits to the left side, Hewitt on the right. They will keep it on the ground, and
not much.
This, I believe, is Shaw. And he is, I believe, short of first down yardage. Jeremy Shaw into the ball game for Miller, getting the call. It is close enough to measure. Again, from our vantage point, he looks to be a little short. We'll have to wait and see.
We don't know the angle of the whatever there. Some chain crews set the chains about a foot, foot and a half from the sideline. Some do it anywhere from a yard to 3 yards, and it makes it interesting. And the Smithies say it's short.
About a foot short.
Ooh.
The Golden Bears will punt. So in the exchange of punts here, Smithville should get pretty good field position. But the Smithies absolutely have to get something going offensively if they want to make a game of it.
They did what they had to do right there. Now the key will be, can they turn it into a plus with a score?
Leach and Burnett are back deep to receive at about the midfield stripe.
See if the Smithies try to block it.
Snap is a good one this time, but the kick is not.
Oh, boy.
The kick is shanked off the right side, and Leach
not
tries to get it.
Not a good thing to do.
And Leach manages somehow to get the football. Oh, my. I'm not sure what young Chris Leach is thinking about there. A very dangerous move, but it worked that time as the Smithies get the football in great field position.
There were fans in front of us leaping out of their seats and almost out of their clothes. Couldn't believe what they were seeing.
So Smithville gets it at the 38-yard line, but oh my goodness.
Whew.
I'll tell you what, Chris Leach has made it interesting here tonight.
Coach Schrock's special teams coach is going to say, don't you ever do that again.
Ollie Burnett split out to the right side, but the give will be inside to Wilson, and Wilson gets about a yard, but not enough if the Smithies want to get on the scoreboard.
We may get another playoff before the quarter end.
Down to 18 seconds there.
Play in from the sideline.
Eric Smith coming in and Todd Kennedy going out. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 37-yard line of the Golden Bears. Waynedale on top, 14-0. And that will do it for the third quarter. 3 quarters of football in the book. It's Waynedale 14, Smithville nothing. We'll be back with fourth quarter action coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Showtime. This holiday season, we entertain you like no one can.
Call me Lou.
So Lou, call me. Catch this.
If it ain't broke, you can probably still fix it. That's my motto.
We'll get you to the FBI program for witnesses against the mob.
Guys, you gotta get in there with something visual and distract them. Hey, baby!
All this and more on Showtime. We entertain you like no one can.
Welcome back to Waynedale High School. The Golden Bears leading Smithville by a score of 14-0. A 1-yard run by Joe Lemon in the first quarter and a 1-yard run by Jerry Miller in the second quarter. That's all the scoring we've had, as neither team able to push it across in the third quarter, but Smithville, Don, looking to get back in the ballgame on this possession.
Yes, they are, and they can do it. They have the type offense. They can move the ball running. There is time. They have a full 12 minutes of play. But Waynedale is going to have something to say about that.
Look over to Morrow, and Morrow pounds into the center of the line.
Wow.
And all he finds are about 5 gold jerseys. And Don, you know, this is rather curious because although the Smithies have also sustained some injuries up front, they've got some good, solid people up there. They've had some problems with the skill positions, as we mentioned, with Ellis going out, Marthy out of action. Wonder why the Golden Bears are doing such an amazing job up front tonight.
One of the things the Bears worked on this week, and Coach Cedar alluded to it or hinted about it on Coach's Corner, was the fact of the inconsistencies of the previous couple of weeks. He wanted 4 full quarters of football out of his team. I believe he's getting it.
Ellis back in the ballgame. That's a good
sack.
sign. But Brookover is sacked. Jerry Miller getting in virtually untouched. Got some help from Jeff McGrainer, but well, you know, Jerry Miller, you talked about him being out for a couple of weeks. We were very impressed with his performance in Triway, and equally impressed here tonight. He's the kind of guy that gets to the football and gets the job done.
He is, and what he does creates opportunities for other players. And no coach would ever say that, you know, because we lost a player, we're not as good as we used to be. But take a look at the San Francisco 49ers without Joe Montana. It's sometimes it happens, and obviously Jerry Miller contributes.
4th and 15. The Smithies go for broke, and Shane Morrow going off the left side. And, Don, you have to wonder, the Smithies going for it on 4th down. No question about that. They've got to get something going. But kind of curious that they didn't put it up in the air. And the Golden Bears take over on downs. They get pretty good field position as well at their own 45-yard line.
Okay, Performance Pontiac has a 1991 Grand Am LE 4-door with automatic transmission and air conditioning for only $94.95. Or if you need a little larger vehicle, how about the 1991 Pontiac 6000 for only $11,950?
Jerry Miller crosses midfield, gets into Smithy territory at the 48-yard line.
And there's that name again.
This could be the decisive drive, Don. If the Golden Bears score here, this one will be all but over.
I believe it will be very close to over. They're unfortunately just early in the game, Smithy's driving, but the penalty bug. Something that got in the way of the Bears also, but not until they had 14 points on the board.
Good defensive play that time as Hartzler makes the stop on Miller. No gain on the play. And
he went down hard.
It was interesting talking to Coach Bill Cedar before the ball game. He has a great deal of respect for the Smithville team, and understandably so, despite the injuries. You never take the guys in green and white lightly, but it's been a tough night, a tough season for them, and the injuries have absolutely been incredible.
Well, who would have thought at this point of the season Orville would be 2-5? So those things do happen, but you can't take the other fella lightly ever.
Here comes Miller, second
breaks
effort.
away.
Miller still on his feet and finally down at the 35-yard line.
And Jerry Miller, one of the most complete football players in the area in high school. And guess what, folks? He's only a junior.
Well, we saw Metzger a few weeks ago at Norwayne against Smithville, and what a great game he had. Miller earlier in the season against Triway, again here tonight against Smithville. There are certain players who do make a difference, and Jerry Miller is one of them. 1st and 10. Golden Bears looking for the decisive last touchdown.
Sack.
And Hartzler levels Jensen.
He came through unblocked, and I don't know how.
A sack back to the 45-yard line.
Jensen went down crunch, and that's the first sack of Jensen tonight. And that's a turnaround from the last couple of nights, football nights for the Bears. One of those games he was sacked 8 times.
There have been some hurries in this one, but first time they have been able to get to him. So the Golden Bears facing a 2nd and long here. Here comes Yoho. The pass is
on
complete
the money
at the 32-yard line. Good pass and a nice reception made down there by number 24, Brad Hewitt, the 6'1", 165-pound junior. And Don Hewitt's had a pretty good night tonight as well.
Yes, he has, both ways. He's had some hands on the ball on the defensive side, and right there he ran the pattern. And as they like to say in the pro broadcasts, he helped his quarterback by coming back to the ball, and that is football savvy.
Golden Bears get a chunk of it back. 3rd down and 7. Jensen wants to throw again. This one
tipped,
overthrown. Lou Johns of Smithville was the closest player in the area.
And he may have been able to get a fingertip on it.
Joe Lemon was in the area, as was number 23 for the Golden Bears, and that is Brian Hewitt.
Players going on and off for Smithville with slight limps and so on. This is going to be a member. They could call this the ambulance year or the Red Cross year at Smithville, that program has paid quite a price.
Here's a comment right now on the Smithies' inability to move the football. The Golden Bears going for it on fourth down.
Whoa!
We've got a flag down. The pass intended for Lemon. Morrow there with the coverage. But, Don, I think the Golden Bears saying right there that Smithville has not been able to move the football. There's no sense punting it. We're too close, and we're not going to gain that much. We think we can stop them. Let's see what the flag is all about.
Well, I thought I saw a little bit of pass interference, but let's see what it is.
Blocking below the waist. I think you're right. There may have been some interference, but that flag came before the play between Morrow and Lemon, a pair of 25s, and those two sophomores we talked about earlier.
But if they get the penalty called on the interference, you have offsetting. That's not the case here. They're going to decline it. We have a 14-7 score. West Holmes leading Orville early in the second half.
We will see those Red Riders again 2 weeks from tonight when they take on the Worcester Generals.
Have an equipment problem on Brenner's helmet.
7:18 remaining in this one, and the Smithies need 2 scores. Burnett comes out to the right side.
I formation for the Smithies.
Morrow dots the I. And Brookover wants to throw this pass. Intercepted by Lemon.
Oh, my.
And Lemon gets it back to the 26-yard line. So the Golden Bears get it right back, and that may just do it for the Smithies.
Brookover must never have seen the defender. Fourth quarter score, Rittman beginning to pull away from Norwayne, 27-14.
So tonight will not be the night for the Bobcats, but a valiant effort just the same.
Spread formation for the Bears.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Ooh.
Jensen on the give to Miller. Miller has great running room off the right side, but it closes quickly. A nice defensive play over there by number 51, Vince Hartzler, who had a pretty good first half, but he has really come on here defensively in the second half.
Certainly has.
Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 from the 25-yard line.
So have you picked up all the pieces of that television monitor that you
I've
broke?
got it all back together, just like an erector set, and I'm out of here scot-free. No deduction in my pay.
Okay.
Here's Jensen to throw.
Pressure.
Heavy pressure by Yoho. Wide open is Miller, and he makes the reception at the goal line.
What a catch. What a throw.
Clint Miller got turned around, but made a great reception, and an equally fine play by Jensen at the other end.
Just an outstanding play by the Smithies. 31, Andy Yoho, to try to get to Jensen. He had a hand on his shoulder. Jensen enough strength to get the ball away. And, oh boy, Bears are knocking on the door. 6 minutes, 5 seconds remain in the game.
1st and goal at the 1. Waynedale can put it away right here. Miller, the one to do it. And Miller is into the end zone for a touchdown. 3rd 1-yard run of the night. 2nd by Miller. And the Golden Bears lead 20-0 with 5:58 remaining in the 4th quarter.
And the portable sirens go off here at Waynedale Stadium in celebration of what appears, John, to be a homecoming game victory for the Bears. Smithies valiantly battling at every turn. Waynedale right tonight, just a little bit more superior.
Lingenfelder with the point after. And our score, Waynedale 21, Smithville nothing. We'll be back with more coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
Tired of automobile salesmen that are here today, but gone tomorrow?
Hello? Hello?
Visit the auto dealership that provides a solid sales force. Fritz Horn, Matt Dunn, Mike Dunn, Tom Lyons, Gene Monterelli, Fred Irwin. These and others on the performance team would like to not only service you now, but for many years down the road. Performance, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you.
You wanna accent your weight to positive, eliminate the negative. Tune in to the affirmative, the family channel, yes indeed.
Nobody captures life on the positive side like the Family Channel.
You wanna accentuate the positive, the family channel, yes indeed.
Lingenfelder will kick off for Waynedale. This one coming over to the left side. Morrow lets it bounce and out of bounds. It'll be a flag, and the Golden Bears will kick it again unless the Smithies decide to take the field position.
Number 33 for the Smithies, Chris Blau. Courageous young man, junior, 5'10", 195-pound fullback linebacker, has been limping for most of the second half. Don't know whether he just got stung or whatever, but he's wearing a heavily braced knee, or wearing rather a heavy brace on his right knee. And curious, we do want to mention about Mr. Lingenfelder. We had a close-up on him at the end of the Waynedale portion of the halftime band show. That was him on the tom-toms in the middle of the percussion section. Yep, he takes off the shoulder pads, puts his blouse back on, gets in with the drums, and marches with the band.
This kick is shorter, and it will be taken by Leach at the 25-yard line, straight up the middle. And Chris Leach is into Golden Bear territory at the 48-yard line.
Good blocking by the Smithville kickoff return team, and Leach just followed the line right as far as it would go, and then at the last second broke loose for about 8 or 9 more yards.
Chris Leach, who's had a couple of adventures with some punt returns tonight, but that time a great return, and the Smithies trying to get pumped up and get on the scoreboard here, trailing 21-0.
Cut back, nope.
And they give off the right side. It looked as though something would develop.
He
but
was
Ellis
down.
Is knocked down. Jerry Miller, who has literally been everywhere tonight, and also helping to make the stop is Jeff McGrainer.
And Joe Lemon was trying to pull the ball out of his grasp and was able to do it, but not until after the knees were down. So the Bears are going right after the Smithies, and they're going to do that until the final gun. And what a game we've had. Smithville, nothing on the scoreboard, but plenty of heart, and they've played as hard as they can play up to this point. And folks, when you've gone through, and Coach Schrock probably wouldn't appreciate me making excuses. This is not excuses, it's reason. He's lost the majority of his offense and defense through season-ending injuries. And some of the teams that catch Smithville down the rest of this year are going to find an experienced Smithy team ready to play them next year, John.
Well, Don, as the Smithville coaches thumb through the playbook, they've got to wonder, is there anything that will work on the ground tonight?
Yeah.
They have been virtually stopped cold, and we've got another Smithy down. They haven't been able to pass the football, and another Smithy down at about midfield. So Keith Schrock, I'm sure, will be happy to get out of here and put this one behind him. And most of the 1991 season, it has been a nightmare all the way around.
Coach is talking with his player. His trainer is out there. While they do that, I'd like to remind everyone to follow the College of Worcester Scots football team here on Clear Picture. See same-day replays of Scott home games in '91 here on Channel 9. Saturdays at 5 p.m. Catch the Scots in action on Saturday, October the 19th, when they take on the Yeomen of Oberlin. That'll be at 5 in the afternoon, 5 p.m. here on Channel 9, your local sports channel. Oh, he's up.
Well, the injured player is Adam Spencer, another offensive lineman, getting up very slowly and walking gingerly across the way. Perhaps he had the wind knocked out of him as well, but it has been a very physical game tonight, Don, and often is the case when these two get together. But the Golden Bears getting the best of it up front. That's been the difference in the ball game. 3 one-yard runs for touchdowns, and Waynedale on top 21-0 on its way to its 4th victory of the season. The Golden Bears will be even at 4-4. The Smithies will drop to 2-6.
Neither team has a 300-pounder, but they all can play it hard-nosed and physical.
Morrow back in the game at quarterback. He kept it on his own, but he dropped the football at the end of the play, and the Golden Bears get it back. It has gone from bad to worse for the guys in green and white.
Coach Schrock pacing the sideline. A credit to him to not throw tantrums like Bo Schembechler and others of college persuasions have been known to do. It's one of those things that the schedule is there. We've got to play this game, and we've got to play this 2 more, and we're going to do the best we can and try to not have too many bad things happen to us.
Jeremy Shaw checks into the ballgame. Jerry Miller gets a richly deserved break here.
What a
Jensen
night.
still in at quarterback. And here comes Shaw off the right side. Good yardage as he gets across the 45 out to the 46-yard line.
Yep.
Don, Mark talked earlier about the little bit unusual motion of Chad Jensen, the quarterback, and Jensen now coming out of the ballgame. He does seem to come out of the center a little bit awkwardly, but except for the one fumble early in the ballgame, no problem.
Right. Well, his center gets the ball up to him quickly, and that, of course, is Jason Oberle. And Jason does a real good job of doing that. And if there were any misconnection, or I mean, if it was a bad situation, the misconnection would happen more often. Look at this.
And the give now to the left side. And Jeremy Shaw, again, the ball carrier.
Okay. 2 minutes, 57 seconds. The cheerleaders of Waynedale are up in the stands, cheering, leading the crowd in a 2-minute chant for the rest of the ball game.
Chad Morris is the new cornerback for the Golden Bears. We did not have him on our roster, so we appreciate Mark Glasgow getting the word for us there. Morris on in relief of Jensen, who led the Golden Bears to 3 scores.
Sack or slip, I'm not sure which. Think more slip than sack, although there's a lot of Smithville uniforms around him, at least at the conclusion of the play. And as they untangle and move around, John, I want to make sure that I mention to our viewers that making a vehicle look like new is what the Performance Body Shop is all about. From major to even minor auto body repairs, they can give your vehicle the look you want. Performance Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck, Toyota, Volkswagen. We make believers. Let us prove it to you, and here's John.
All right, the punt takes a Waynedale bounce, and Chris Leach covers up at the 15-yard line. And actually, they will mark it at the 16-yard line. So the Golden Bears can feel pretty good about their performance tonight. And really, the Smithies, nothing to be ashamed of, just adversity and obstacle after obstacle, just things that have gotten in the way, namely the injuries. And it has prevented them from doing anything at all on offense tonight. They have been held scoreless for the first 46 minutes of this one, and they have just under 2 minutes now to try and get on the board.
Well, I don't think they'll start to pass, but who knows?
Ollie Burnett splits out wide to the right side, and he was limping on his way out there.
He's gone down twice tonight.
And the ball carrier gets out to the 25-yard line. That is Chuck Ellis, and it's good to see Ellis running hard once again because, as we mentioned, Ellis down on the field for some time earlier in the half, and apparently back, maybe perhaps still feeling some of the effects, but courageously out there and trying to get the job done in the final few minutes of this one. We're under a minute to play. Waynedale leading 21-0, and the Smithies, again, as we said, trying to get something going here and get a score on the board.
Nothing much. Barely back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, as we said, the Smithies will drop to 2-6. The Golden Bears reach the 500 mark at 4-4.
And with less than 5 minutes remaining in the game, the score is Rittman 27 and Norwayne 14. Our score here, 21-0 with a half-minute to go. Waynedale wins on homecoming night.
And again, Morrow with the keeper, and he wants to pitch. He does so. Leach got the football, and Leach is knocked out of bounds.
21 seconds remain.
He gets out across the 35-yard line. And really, Don, the Smithies making no great efforts to try and get points on the board. Maybe we in the media make too much of that. At this point, the difference between a 21-0 and a 21-7 score doesn't make a whole lot of difference. So rather than try and go away from the game plan at this point, just basically running out the string here.
What are you going to say if he throws a touchdown pass?
Then I'll have to eat some crow, and I'm not real fond of crow. There is a pass out to the left side. Wilson gets it. He's hammered as he gets the first down, but took a big shot at the 45-yard line.
John, it's late in the game at West Holmes, and they lead the Red Riders of Orrville 14-7. 3 or 4 minutes remaining.
Beg your pardon, the spot is the 40. And this will be the final play of tonight's ball game. We are under 7 seconds to go in this one. Waynedale fans counting it down. Morrow will throw. And this one up for grabs. Intercepted. And Mastrine brings it back to the 48-yard line. That is where the game will end. The final score on homecoming at Waynedale. Golden Bears 21, Smithies nothing. We'll be back to wrap it up coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Clear Picture, Channel 9 in Worcester.
When you need to know the local weather forecast, why wait for the news when you can get it every 5 minutes on the Weather Channel? Our local forecast is accurate and up to the minute, and now it takes on a new look. You'll see colorful graphics that are easier to read and understand for all weather conditions. Plus, there's local radar in every local forecast. And you get the time, temperature, wind information, and chance of precipitation for today, tomorrow, and the week ahead. It's the new improved local forecast every 5 minutes, only on the Weather Channel.
ESPN means business for local advertisers. Get major league results by advertising on the network that puts your message in exciting sports programming all year round. Team up with ESPN. We mean business.
All right, a couple of one-yard runs by Jerry Miller and another one-yard run by Joe Lemon were the difference in this one as the Waynedale Golden Bears post a 21-0 victory. Waynedale goes to 4-4. Smithville drops to 2-6. And Don, a good night for the Golden Bears. There will be better days ahead for the Smithies.
Oh, there will. It's good to see the Bears back on the winning track as they've had some adversity of their own the last couple of weeks. And it's just, my goodness, what can you say about this year? It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure they're going to have some of these fellas looked at after the way they were banged around tonight for Smithville. Out there in the warm-up coat without the uniform under it is Chad Marthy with his broken arm and a cast and a sling. And he was out and went through the line saying, good game, and all of that stuff that they say to the other team. But with the advent of prolific injuries, it seems like it's coming back into high school football, and I don't know why. But with that happening and the way it has stricken the Smithville Smithies this year, they're fortunate to have anything in the win column at this particular point. But I emphasize that Coach Schrock and his team have an outstanding tradition of winning at Smithville, and they will be back. They'll be heard from before this season is over, and next year and the year after, look out. And as far as Coach Cedar and his team, we've been thrilled with his progress since he came here a year ago, and he continually amazes people in the county with what he gets done. And save for a bad break on the Jerry Miller injury and a little bit of inconsistency with his offense and defense over the last 2 weeks, they could still be undefeated in the Wayne County Athletic League, and they will definitely be heard from in years to come, many of them, just like Smithville.
All right, and the pregame ritual gets underway as the Golden Bears celebrate victory number 4, and that will wrap things up for tonight's broadcast. Thanks so much for being with us. For producer-director Mark Glasgow, camera person Max Glasgow, and color analyst Don Barnett, I'm John Finn, reminding you to join us once again next week when Worcester hosts Alliance. Until then, have a good night and a great week. The final score, once again, Waynedale 21 and Smithville nothing.